All right. Here we are, Ruby and Rusty. I haven't done this in a while. I'm a bit rusty at the whole restream thing. Here we go. All right, Ruby and Rusty. Hello, everyone. Welcome RGL. Everyone else that's coming in to watch the marathon. Hope you've been enjoying it so far. So yeah, the next little block here is going to be the EBC block, where we're going to go over some Game Boy homebrew games. Starting with obviously Ruby and Rusty Save the Crows by Max Oakland, a very good indie developer for Game Boy homebrew. Just released a new game called Sapphire and Shiny Kidnap the Crows, which is a basically the evil twins to Ruby and Rusty. Definitely. So, without further ado, let's get started here in 3, 2, 1. Oh. So this game is actually pretty cute. The story is that there's a couple vegetables, Ruby and Rusty, both tomatoes, and there's a scarecrow, and they enjoy the crows that come into the field. One day, the owners of the house decided to dress the scarecrow up as a witch, and the scarecrow got magical powers and scared all the crows away. Now it's up to Ruby and Rusty to go save the crows. So here we just got a quick little tutorial we gotta run through. And just teaches you the base of the game. There's our first sad crow that we had to save. Alright, so you get to choose your character every time you go into a stage. So here we are in, I believe this is the gardens. And this game is actually really interesting because it has, I don't want to say two different endings to it, but it does have an any percent and a 100% element. So every time that you finish the stage, it checks to see if you've collected every flower and if you have full health. So the flowers are, well, they look like flowers. There's see one right away on the screen already. And yeah, once you've collected 100% of everything, on the map screen, the crows will actually flap their wings. So you know that you 100%ed the level. I believe, so I'm playing an older version of Ruby and Rusty, because there's some glitches that we're gonna utilize in this version of the game. And but I believe when Max released this on the physical cart, that he actually added in a new ending if you collected all the 100%, and I believe he actually put in something else in the game too. Oh, okay. There we go. Floors are a mere imagination right there. Spookiest game ever seen, man. If you think this is spooky, better go grab some more pajama pants, because later on things are gonna get wild. So this stage here, this is the barn, just like in every other barn in the world. There's our first glitch right there. One of a super jump off the spikes. Those spikes are supposed to do half damage to you. In the top left corner of my screen, you see a heart. You have 2 hit points in this game. However, with this older version I'm running on, I can get away with some pretty sneaky things here. And this is the end of that stage. So we use those spiders and hold the jump button to basically boost jump ourselves up the stage. Otherwise, it's actually a pretty long stage horizontally. So here we're going into the ravine. This is probably the coolest stage in the game because it has wind element to it. We were hoping to bounce off that guy there, so you can see the wind element there, just taking a hold of Ruby and just doing whatever it wants with her. Back up here, we gotta be careful of those bees. So those bees, even though you can kill most of anything by jumping on them, in the manual it says that the nests shoot out the bees at such a velocity that if you jump on them, it still damages. So, don't jump on bees. Even in real life, don't do it. Now we're going into the dump. The dump is actually a pretty neat stage because it kind of breaks apart from itself. Where we go from, I guess, the outer world, we can call it, to underworld here. But whenever we land, we had to wait for that screen to transition there, otherwise our inputs will get eaten. Here we're gonna do a little shake and bake here. Nice jump and save our little crow friend. So in the next level or two, we're gonna face off against the witch or the scarecrow for our first round at it. So this stage here, that chicken should look familiar if you've ever played Link's Awakening. But this stage is probably Nightmare Fuel. Oh, the bug didn't spawn. So this stage is basically Nightmare Fuel. What you have to do on this stage is knock this egg down all the way to the egg bed. This is wise. Go. However, sometimes the egg gets a little too close to the wall and doesn't want to go down. Right? There we go. Now what we have here is too many sprites on the screen. So I go down here. And you would think, oh, the egg's gonna disappear. No. It might, but there we go. Alright. So another glitch with this version of the game is that whenever the egg is completely off screen, the timer for the egg despawn just stops. So, yeah. Just like that, we get our crow. Otherwise, if you try to jump through the chicken has taken its vitamins for sure and learned a few things from Hulk Hogan, and it will throw you across the screen. I have spent hours trying to get past the chicken. This is the meat wad stage. I think they're supposed to be those dust things that roll around in the desert. I call it the meat wad stage. The one thing with this game is that if you are going for 100%, you do have to be wary about not collecting or saving your crow right away. There are a lot of things beyond the crow that you have to get, such as your flowers. Here's our first fight with the scarecrow. Oh, we missed the shot. You get to see the scarecrow attack. Alright, there's the first fight with the scarecrow. We'll have to face off against the scarecrow one or two more times before the end of the game. So here we are in the cornfield. This is a fun stage because the little jelly boy guys here. You just basically just bounce around. But yeah, I would say, like, if you are wanting to get into this game, super fun game, first of all, casually. Crazy fun game, casually. Especially with the revisions that Max has made recently. But go for 100%. 100% in this game is extremely satisfying, especially when we get into the well. So here we go. Here's our second face-off against the witch or the scarecrow. So the reason we want to wait before we pick up a turnip is because whenever we pick something up, we have a bit of a delay before we can do anything else. We're kind of a sitting duck there for a while. So something interesting about the witch is the way. So this is built in Game Boy Studio, and the way things worked in Game Boy Studio 2.0 is that you were only allowed to have 16 pixel sprites. So in order to have tall sprites like you saw with the witch, you you had to get pretty creative with the Game Boy development kit and with Game Boy Studio 2. So after a while, that witch, once you start hitting it, will actually start to separate from itself, and only the body is hittable. But this is the worst stage in my opinion, because of this one simple jump right here. You thought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was tough. Well, you haven't played Ruby and Rusty yet. So in order to make this jump work easily, you have to jump and fall and kind of pray to the gods while holding left that you make it down there. And there are no checkpoints in this game at all, so if we die at any point in a stage, with the exception of the final stage, we do have to go and redo the entire stage again. Here we go, we got another witch fight. So the reason with the high estimate for this game was simply because of how bad this game can snowball out of control. We haven't gotten to really the snowball bits of it yet. We got past the well, which was the first hurdle, so to speak. But the final stage can pose a little bit of an issue with the clouds and everything else with it. Here we are going on into the tree. The tree stage, the tree stage is pretty comical. It's just these, but we do get introduced to the blue larva now. So for 100%, if we didn't kill that one blue one right there, you can still make that. It's a tighter jump, but you can still do it. You haven't seen me pick up a lot of the leaves, but there are hearts in the ground as well too. You can replenish your health. Most of the time though, it's turnips for you to throw at enemies. We actually just encountered a bug because we're not supposed to face off against the witch anymore until the final stage. So yep, enjoy the extra witch fights. Enjoy the incredible hitbox that we're encountering right now. So here you can see that the witch is separating, and it does make it a little bit more difficult to to hit the boss. Oh, we're dead. Here we go. Sometimes the witch just wants to machine gun at you. There we go. Yeah, so that's the reason why the estimate was so high for this, is just because sometimes the jank can pose some problems. But honestly, the jank is more helpful than it is hurtful a lot of the times. There we go. Right in the chest. Oh, now we get to watch the body and head collide, and that's it. My favorite part of that entire fight. Oh, we get to go into the field. The field is pretty cool. Didn't mean to jump right there. The field is pretty cool though. The field is all about jumping off of things and getting the height off of stuff. All through that beat. There we go. So we got that one up there. This game actually has lives. And you can see the flowers beyond the crow. But this game has lives, and if you game over, especially on the final stage of the game, you have to redo the entire final stage of the game. There are small to face off against the witch again. Hope you like the witch fight. But you have lives, and if you game over, you can continue. You basically pick up right where you left off. You still have all the stages beaten that you had beat once upon a time. The biggest difference is literally the final stage. The final stage is where, if you do game over, you have to redo and it's the only stage with checkpoints, because there are three or four phases of the final. Here we go. Oh, We'll just glitch out of the boss fight. Nothing, nothing to see here, folks. So we were here at the forest stage. This is the coolest stage in the game because you have to use the turnips to hit the buoys over. But here we have a nice little sequence we can do. Where that cloud was supposed to be a little bit shorter to the ground. But we're still alive. Yep, there you go. Nothing to see here at all. Yeah. Here's a heart. I had to figure out where the hearts were for the sake of marathon safety. Because there are some parts where it does get a little nerve-wracking. So this thing here is similar to the egg, where if you hit it and move it out of place, you do have a time limit to hit it back in. The bad part about this now is that we did take half a point of damage, so we do have to be a little careful with it. We're trying to jump off the cloud and go to... Here, see if we can do it now. Oh! The clouds do not want to line up very well. That's fine. See if we can jump over the vine. Nope, not going through the vine today. So you can actually glitch yourself through that vine and actually become completely immune to damage, where we can just pretty much just climb through the rest of the stage, but the game didn't want to completely break, so we don't get to go through the vine. Oh, I shouldn't have backed up. If I didn't back up right there, we had that. I really just want to show you the cool sequence at the beginning. That's why we're done. Death abuse. See, this cloud right here does not want to behave. Alright, well, cloud. Do it the old-fashioned way. Or you see, the old-fashioned way. This is where it comes in of the snowball effect. You just need to get it closer to estimate. Alright. I went through the cloud. Alright, well. It was there. It was there for the taking. Oh, and the part was gray that time. This is gonna be difficult again. Torch. But basically what happens in the opening sequence is that you have a turnip and you carry that turnip all the way to that heart that you seem to pick up. And I destroy that cloud that comes at us. And all is good. Here we're gonna try and get these clouds over. Wanted, but you know what? We're gonna die right here because we're too close to the spikies. Oh, we made it. Saved our friend. All right. Another witch attack. Don't worry, we get to see the witch again in the next stage, in the final stage. So if you were ever speedrunning this game, make sure to use the most current version, because this doesn't happen in the most current version. I did want to use this version because of showcasing can be happening. And because it's the only version that I have routed right now. I'm the only runner of this game. Alright, so now we can go into the abandoned house, which is here. Let's choose Rusty. We've done the entire game with Ruby. Let's play as Rusty now. Now we're Rusty. And if you're wondering to yourself, is there a difference between Ruby and Rusty? Nope. The only difference is the appearance and the name. Here we play as Rusty. And we want to wait for this cloud right here. We actually want to take 1 point of damage because we're going to do a death abuse here. Where we collect a key and die pretty much at the same exact. We're going to do that on this. Well, we're going to do it. We were going to do it on that spider. There we go. We got this key right here. All right. So now we got the key in our inventory. And, oh, let's see if we still have the key in our inventory. I didn't realize we were on our last slide. We don't, so here we go. Now you get to see the pretty leaves again. It's fall, right? It all makes sense. It's fall, the leaves are falling, the clouds are angry. Those are pollen clouds because of my allergies. No one likes allergies, so they're sad. Still didn't take that 1 point of damage like I wanted to do. So didn't take that 1 point of damage. There we go. Gotta wait for our iframes to wear out. Die by the wait, I don't even know what those are. But we have the key now, and we're gonna go into the door. So this the spiders start off as upside down. The faces right there, you actually can't jump on them at all. You just fall through them and take an ample amount of damage. Walls are a figment of your imagination. And now we're into, if you've ever played I like to call this the Shovel Knight room. If you ever played Shovel Knight, this is like the room before going into the boss fight. And because there's just nothing there. We want to wait for that first shot to go out. Then we want to hit the witch immediately after. Here what we gotta do is that these plants are going to move all over the place, and it kind of sucks that she's already splitting, because it does definitely make it a bit more difficult. Dude, but eventually some clouds are gonna come out of those mirrors. There. We're going to have to face off against the clouds along with the witch. And the crappy thing about the clouds, that the clouds, if you hit them, they absorb the turnip that was shot at. Here we're going to wait for her to shoot time. I believe she has one more hit. Dead. Cursed, I guess we can call it. Oh no! Now we gotta go save our final girlfriend. We did it as Rusty. So there's our crows. There's all of the crows that we just saved on the farm. And there's our credits and that. So that first little character you saw run across the screen, that's Wink. Max Oakland is making a quite large game featuring Wink, and the game is called, well, super cool game. He has a bunch of demos out on itch.io right now. Go check him out. Name is Max Oakland. Has a bunch of games on itch.io, Game Boy, NES, other like side games like Breakout and things like that. Definitely go check them out on itch.io. Super fun games, even though they are, for the most part, they're simple, right? Air quotes simple, but they have some depth to them. Where, like I said, we can 100% the game. You can have flapping birds. I believe there's in the new version of the game now. There's a second ending to it. There is a challenge mode once you've beaten the game, which you'll see here on the screen here. Second, it says you've unlocked challenge mode, which just makes the game a bit harder. So, yeah, that is Ruby and Rusty Save the Crows. I'll be up again after this with Cherry Rescue, where we have to save our girlfriend from becoming a cherry pie. Told you, it just gets wild from here on out. And shout outs to Grandma Onion.